11 of DerNami Gaming Podcast. I'm joined by Arcadia Zero and Vast Empires. I am Scorch. We will be covering the news that happened since our last podcast, which was, 2 weeks ago when we announced our winner.
Yep.
And we will be playing Fortnite. We have a little bit of Fortnite news. We're including the patch notes in our broadcast. We have a lot to cover, so we might as well begin. And let's jump on in with what? For Honor? Do we want to start with For Honor?
Let's hit it because that is a mess.
Yes, it is. Okay, so Season 3 of For Honor just started today. And in order to attempt to rekindle the whole For Honor-ness of that game, it's had a suffering player base for a little while.
Since launch.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't
I believe the exact words were that the beta was the highest peak of players in the entire gameplay so far.
Yeah. So they had a tournament to kick off Season 3 over the weekend, and that really showcased all of the blunders that they've made regarding For Honor. The winner of the tournament, who won a bunch of money for the tournament, used an exploit that has been around since day one to win. So, and what did he also say, that he had not played For Honor for 2 weeks before entering the tournament?
Yeah.
So
strolled in, used his glitch, got money, left.
Yeah. He also used an overpowered character. The characters are not balanced. They look cool, but they're not balanced. So he used an overpowered character without playing for 2 weeks before, using an exploit that has existed since day one, and walked away with $10,000.
Broken.
Broken.
Let's bring it in.
With a capital B.
Oh.
The landing site is
I
somewhere in this zone.
believe, Arcadius, that you agree with me when we say that we are not sad that we have deleted that game from our hard drives.
Nope. It was an awesome game when it first came out. It was fresh. Something like it had not come out, in my opinion, before it. You could try to make some comparisons, but the mechanics and the thought process, it was very... I like the idea. I still like the idea of the game and how it performs and how the mechanics operate. They're just not balanced.
Yeah.
And I mean, you realistically, you could play the 2 game modes that do not depend on your stat buffs and weaponry and stuff. So everyone's on the same playing field, and that's okay to play. But that gets really dry after a while.
It really does.
And as soon as you enter into something else, you are probably around a level 15, and then a level 108 joins your group and waxes you. And then you're like, I just can't seem to get the hang of this. And then 5 matches later, after you've been trounced enough, you're like, well, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
And that's all she wrote.
Ugh.
And I think the new characters they unveiled were the Gladiator for the Knights, and I think another character for the Vikings.
Yeah, the Highlander.
Because they already
he
came
has
out
a big sword,
yeah,
like the Crusader does.
They already did the ninja for the samurai, so there wasn't anything new to add there.
Yeah.
So I'd imagine based on watching a couple of mechanics of the Gladiator, it's going to be a lot like the Valkyrie is for the Vikings, is what it kind of looks like in terms of stylistic play.
The quick
Hopefully
stabbiness.
he's not near as hopefully he's not near as broken as that Crusader is.
Yeah.
But
They have said, however, that they are moving to Ubisoft hosted servers rather than peer-to-peer servers. So some of that
it actually won't take 20 minutes to connect. You'll just take, a couple seconds to connect to an unbalanced match.
There won't be that lag between fighting players, which always nags the hell out of people. Hopefully.
Yeah, because
Hopefully they
you'd
fix
be
that.
ready to do a killing blow and then hurt, jerk, you're dead.
Yep.
And it's like, well,
Yep.
that was most unfortunate.
There are takers everywhere. Jesus.
Well, and I think, I'm still commending Ubisoft for bringing the game to life and everything like that, but there was clearly, issues with the game, and
Yeah.
I know they're probably chronically understaffed at this point, the way that companies shift resources when a product isn't really going that well, but still, that's
Yeah.
a poor showing.
Yeah.
Doesn't make people want to come to your game.
But it's almost a testament that, you could, give reason that, they might not be having the best staffing in that, but we're talking about a glitch that has existed since day numero uno.
Yep.
You'd think they could at least fix a first wave of patches. So that way, the most glaringly obvious things that are wrong with the game would be fixed for their premier PR-inducing tournament. But no.
Yeah.
It didn't
very
happen.
true.
So I think that in and of itself just shows that there are people up on high that are not serious about it.
Mm-hmm. There's even thrust into the spotlight that they had not even thought to balance their characters at all in a game that they were pushing to be an esport,
Yeah.
which shows very poorly on their behalf.
Yeah. Just laziness, really, but that's enough ranting with that. It's
Yeah.
a great game in concept. I liked how it played. They just can't balance to save their lives.
Hey, welcome back, Danielle.
Welcome back.
So,
That's all I got to say about that.
yeah, that was nice and quick. Shall we move on to another thing?
Let's
Let's
do
hit
a
the
No
next
Man's
topic.
Sky.
Okay,
I want to talk about this No Man's Sky.
go for it,
business
man. Hit it
that
up.
they've been throwing at us. So they came out with a newly revised, I guess, is it a series of patch or is it like one super patch?
It's
of
it was like an
upgrade.
anniversary update, is what they
Okay,
called it,
exactly.
I believe.
Quote, anniversary update, end quote. Where basically they were supposed to include more aspects to the game, a little bit more playability. There was even rumor that they've actually changed the ending of the game, so it isn't just, congratulations, you got here, now we're going to erase everything and make you a new world. There'd actually be some kind of stylistic plot ending to it. Don't know what
Yeah.
that means, not sure what that alludes to. I haven't actually gotten to the center myself, partly because of the other problems it had, but after briefly watching some gameplay, they, in my opinion, fixed what should have been available day numero uno. And then the game would have actually have had some little more dynamic, in my opinion, a little more excitement to actually work for the things that you had and kind of slowly build up in a fan shape rather than just becoming, Mining Simulator 2.0 or Minecraft 2.0,
Oh, don't
except
worry.
without the building.
It's still a
without
mining
the building.
simulator. You don't have to worry about that bit.
But now you can't even mine certain things without upgrades, which is so annoying.
That's very
Because
true.
you were able to mine all this stuff before, and now there are upgrades that you don't know where they are. You don't know how to obtain them, but a lot of No Man's Sky was kind of like that from the beginning. You just don't know. You got to figure it out.
Yeah.
But after having played a subpar opening to now a sort of frustrating transition of how the game is played, but now they've changed it on you, and it doesn't play the same.
Mhm.
It's kind of annoying. It's not to my liking. But
Yeah.
I will say that the whole home base thing they added was pretty cool. The fact that you can have different kinds of inventory storage is finally here, so that's a lot nicer.
Mhm.
The little bit more graphical entertainment, so maybe a couple more ships, not a whole lot. They're not exactly devoting a lot of time to ship design, but they got a couple, a few new ones.
Yeah. So I have
Some things that look a little more plot rich, but there's
Yeah.
really not much more plot to it.
I have put in some extensive time investigating this update. If you want to see it, I have the streams on our channel. You can go and watch it if you want and develop your own opinions of it. But one of the things that they said is that they have 30 hours of story now, and
Ooh,
I
30
activated
hours, huh?
I activated their new story just by jumping to a new system, and I was able to start the story rather quick. The problem, though, is that I am not invested in that game at all, so I didn't pursue the story. And what I really ended up doing was going back to finding a planet that had Emerald and mining the ever-loving shit out of it.
Money.
Yeah. I bought a new ship.
Oh my god.
What?
Holy cow. I have to interject.
Okay.
I saw you in your video land on a frigate and then proceed to ask the guy how much this frigate was going to cost
It
you.
was $149 million to buy the frigate.
Literal.
Oh my god.
You would be
The
mining
ship-
emerald for days.
The ship that
to
I
get that.
busted my bank to get was $4 million. I used every credit that I had to buy that new Class B fighter. The frigate.
140 million credits.
Yeah.
Oh my word! And it gave you the option to now possess multiple ships. I think it was.
Yeah. So when you own a freighter, you can store up to 3
Like
ships
dock it.
in the docking bays.
Yeah. So you can have like a fighter ship, a storage.
like a
oriented one
hauler
that has just-
and an explorer,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Is there something in there that they have now that you can actually like all things? Can you become
Yes.
a
Okay, so
player
your
in the game?
exosuit, first of all, now has a high capacity stacking area. So that stuff that you find a lot of that takes up your precious slots, you can like quick pack it into a really high capacity area. Kind of like your ship would auto stack in terms of high capacity.
Mm-hmm.
But now they put a little piece of it in your suit. They also separated out the weaponry slots from the storage slots. So things like phasers and photons and lasers and all that stuff are now sort of a separate little tech category where you can put your card power-ups instead of taking up your storage, which is
Yeah.
Okay,
nice.
that's nice.
So they sort of added storage inadvertently, but separated it out so that way there's limitations on both storage and weaponry, or tech, as they just call it.
Yeah. I have, however, encountered a glitch that I must profess. I have encountered multiple glitches with their new update, but one of the things that absolutely irks me. Okay, a lot of things irk me.
I was about to say.
But okay,
This
so
one in particular.
there are 2 things that I wanted to do. I got an upgrade for my mining laser so that it could be, essentially it would turn my mining laser into an SMG when I was in combat. And I thought, yeah, that's really cool, but I don't have the things necessary to do it. So one of the things that there's been there since day one was that you could pin a recipe to your HUD so that
they took away the pin.
No, they didn't take away the pin. So like you can pin it to the HUD to see the resources that you need, and you can gather the resources and know that you have enough. When I pinned the recipe, my game crashed.
Oh, no.
That happened twice.
Oh
So
man.
yeah. Another thing is that earlier when I was playing, before I dropped this game entirely, I maxed out my suit inventory before they separated it out and had all that stuff. I maxed it out. I had as many slots pre-update as I possibly could have. And I read in their new little tutorial section where you could read up on how to do everything that you can get cargo slots and new tech slots for your suit if you visited drop pods. It's just the same way as finding new slots in the previous update. However, seeing as how I have maxed out pre-update my suit slots, when I find a drop pod and I activate it, I get no prompt to increase my inventory because it is marked.
No.
It is marked as full.
Oh, so it didn't do a carryover. They didn't even bother doing a written script carryover.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's stupid.
So I now.
So you'd have to restart your game file.
Yeah.
Completely.
Definitely.
That sucks.
If I want to go into survival and have a functional new update.
Oh man.
New update suit, I would have to restart.
Nope.
See, it's stuff like that. Like, why would they not do that? Why? What would possess them to decide, everything you've done in the game, even though it might not have been completely to your liking, and we know since that last thing you went ahead and built a home base and all that, just start over.
Yeah.
It's like,
I didn't even try to build a home base.
Really, Hello Games, you doing this to me now?
Well, they got to get you to come back and try and play it some kind of way.
Except they did the reverse, and I will not be back.
So the bottom line is, Danielle asks, does No Man's Sky is good now? What do you think?
It is.
Well,
up
if you start
to,
over, go ahead.
It is up to the point where it should have been upon release.
Bingo.
Arcadius said that earlier, and I completely agree with him. It is now to the point of a release title. However,
worth the full purchase amount you would pay for the game.
Yes, I cannot condone buying this game still because of the glitches that I have found that make this game, one, really hard to play, and two, you will never be able to play this game to its full potential.
That sounds fair.
Yeah.
It's harsh. It's a harsh world.
Well, hey,
No.
get good, scrub.
Harsh business. All right. So that covers No Man's Sky. Do we want to move on, or we got a couple more things to say? Because I was
I think my
quiet this
blood
round,
pressure's going to
but
go
that's
up if we
because
keep talking about
Yeah,
it.
I'm starting to
I know, that's why I
fume.
didn't
We
have
really
anything
need
to
to
say
move on. So, no good, Danielle says. Yep, we agree. No good.
Well, I wouldn't say... Okay. I wouldn't say no good. If you were to come into it brand new, it might be okay.
Yeah.
But considering we've been stuffed again and again and again,
Yeah.
I would say I am burned out, as they might say.
And you haven't played it in how long? Not since the previous update?
I played when they allowed you to do buildings. I ventured in a little bit. It's like, oh, this is cool. And then I found a new planet that I wanted to post up my base on. And I went to go build the base, and it goes, oh, everything you built at the previous home base is gonna get zip file destroyed and sucked into this little box if you want to build your home base here. I was like, what? You mean I can't just like leave that building stuff and now designate this one as home base? And it's like, nope, all the people that you traveled around the galaxy to get to work at your home base, they're just gonna disappear. It's like, well, okay. And I shut the game off.
Oh, okay. Enough of that. We're getting angry. We need to move on.
Angry gamers.
Pum.
Yep. So what do we want to cover next? Something probably a little bit less unnerving. So maybe hold off on Shadow of War, huh? Because
Yeah.
We'll build back into that.
thing. Okay. All right.
We'll build into that.
So Fast, you pick a topic now. Do whatever you need.
Well, I was going to do a lighter note and talk about the hints of another remake that happened in the Crash Bandicoot game.
Oh yes.
So we're hitting another wave of nostalgia in the gaming industry, and people are mining. It's not even nostalgia, they just have old properties, they want to bring them back, and so the Crash Bandicoot game apparently made some decent money.
Yeah. It was really popular.
Gamers come in. And so I think it was at Kotaku, and some enterprising, probably Reddit users, Reddit people said that they saw some hints that a Spyro the Dragon remake might be in the works.
Yeah.
Might be in the works. There's an Easter egg in the game.
Here's how it worked in when you played Crash Warped when it originally came out in 97 or 98. There was a hidden demo for Spyro on the disc. and you had to put in a cheat code and you can activate the demo that way. Well, they built this new, they remade Crash Bandicoot, right? And they made it from the ground up. They didn't reuse any assets or old code or anything like that. They like reformed everything the way that they think it should have been. Well, if you go to the same spot and put in the cheat codes, something happens. You don't really go anywhere, but it seems like they added that feature as well, like something may be coming in the future. I'm very interested in it because Spyro was so much fun. That was all of my childhood. And Ratchet and Clank too, but that was later.
Spyro was a great game.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I want to be a little naysayer and ask, I think it's a cool idea, and if they actually did, put this little nod and Easter egg into the game for it to, like, as a one day you can do this, or one day this might be a thing, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But I feel like if it was actually going to be a remake, there would be more to it.
Like, to the Easter egg?
Y'all need teddies? I found one.
No, we're defending now.
Okay. I could have swore at one point y'all needed some.
Well, we need to kill teddy bears, yeah.
Oh yeah, you can kill them, I think.
Yeah, break them.
Will it count for all of us though? I thought
don't know.
it's just one of y'all has to come over here and break it, because it doesn't do that if y'all break it for something else.
Break it.
I don't have that one.
We're already defending
Break
the base,
it.
just break it.
Okay,
Well,
I broke it.
you could look at this Easter egg from multiple directions. One thing that you could say about Naughty Dog and Insomniac is that they are being faithful to the source material and adding everything that was in the originals, including this thing that doesn't really have any utility yet.
Or purpose, for the
Yeah.
most part.
Or you could see it as, here's a hint of things to come without it actually being
It's a
applicable?
it's a very lighthearted hat tip.
Yeah. And plus, I like to believe. I like to dream. Spyro is so much fun.
I'm not trying to ruin anyone's childhood.
Uh-huh.
Hell yeah, Spyro. I'm with you, Danielle. I actually really love that game, but
Here comes
I
Bass,
just-
stomping on the childhood. Stomp, stomp, stomp. Stomp, stomp, stomp.
well, no one's childhood was as awesome as my childhood. I'm just saying.
Uh-huh.
But,
Stomp, stomp, stomp. Stomp, stomp, stomp.
Tell me how long you
me
lived without
stomping
internet?
72 years.
Sounds like misery to me.
Oh.
But like I said, I hope that it is a thing. It's just, to me, the way that we've been having things revealed to us recently, it feels like there would be a little bit more to it. If it were a true, Easter egg. And here's the other thing I want to put this on the internet, on our podcast right now. If 3 years from now there's a Spyro remake, this Easter egg doesn't count.
What?
So put it out there.
How dare you?
This doesn't count.
All right, I think that's fair to say. I feel like it would behoove them to remake this game, if nothing else, just to keep the copyright attained, like they do with horror movies. Every 10 or 15 years, they just remake it.
Yeah.
Well, alright, so I don't have children, so you're going to have to correct me if I'm wrong on this, but didn't Skylanders start as a Spyro,
Well, Skylanders is quite... They used Spyro as a figurehead for a really long time, but they remade the character and made him look like an idiot. And I've never played Skylanders. I never will. It looks dumb.
Well, it's not for you. It's for parents.
For parents.
Spend their money.
Yeah. So on that topic, is there a video game that y'all would like to see remade? here in this whirlwind of remaking stuff?
I'll be honest, I didn't get a game system till much later, so all the games y'all are talking about, I just got to play a little bit if I went to my friend's house and visited.
Okay.
Or my neighbor's house. So I remember playing a lot of the oldies, but not that much. So my gaming enthusiasm wasn't exactly peaked until I owned my own system, and that didn't happen till much later.
Yeah, you entered at PS3, if I remember correctly. You went
yes,
half and
that
half
was my,
with Tom.
I did, and that was my very first game system that I owned. I had played a ton on all the other systems. PlayStation 1, 2, Nintendo 64.
Yeah!
You know, like, all of them. But, did not own any of them, did not have tons and tons of playtime on them. Well, I take that back. I did have tons and tons of playtime, but not as much as I had wanted.
Yeah.
If I would have owned it. But, yeah.
So,
What about you, Danielle? What would you like to have remade?
yeah.
Throw it over to our chat.
And what about you, Vast? Anything specific?
Like I'm old school, so if I had to have like a remake, I would want like a Breath of Fire 2 or a Soul Calibur 2.
Ooh, Soul Calibur.
That was pretty entertaining to play.
But 2 was where it was at.
Let's see. Danielle says she has no idea. All right. Well,
That's
think
fair,
about
we
it and
kinda
get back to us.
sprung that on you.
She can join my club.
I'd like a remake of Asteroids. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Said no one ever.
Said the one guy that played Asteroids. All right, moving on. What else do we want to cover? Do we want to hit Valve now?
Yes, because to me this is kind of funny.
Yeah. All right. So, Valve is a super famous developer that has made many really awesome games. They made Left 4 Dead, they made Portal, they made Half-Life, and then they started Steam, and since starting Steam they haven't really done much on their own. But they recently announced a new game that they're working on at, I believe, DotaCon or something like that. It was some real huge convention that they went to and attended and hosted. And this game...
There were some Dota gaming tournaments during the conference, though.
Yeah. This game turned out to be a digital card game, and everyone is pissed. It's...
Like, really?
Yeah. Blizzard has a card game. A few other... I think Gearbox has a card game.
The Witcher 3 released Gwent.
Yeah, Gwent. So a lot of people see this as just an obvious money grab, cashing in on this craze that no one is really crazy for, I think. They're just looking at metrics and thinking, man, that's making a lot of money. We can make a lot of money by doing this. So there was a video where they had... Yeah, this video is so cringeworthy. If you don't like cringe stuff, don't look for it. It will break your mind.
I've seen this video.
But they have video of them announcing it to this auditorium filled with like super Valve believers that attended this
just
con.
huge fans.
Yeah.
Valivers.
And they they had the name of the game and they had the icon, and then it flashed up digital card game on the bottom, and the entire auditorium went, "Oh!"
Oh, there's your sign.
Yep.
Like, audibly loud. And I think part of it is because, of course, they have so many beloved franchises right now that are more than they're kind of due for an update.
Yeah, you could.
And all they did was like cop out the easy way.
Yeah.
They just took a shortcut.
And it hurts. It hurts.
So you're not going to get your Half-Life 3. You're not going to get your Left 4 Dead
3.
2.
No, they had a 2.
You're not going to get your Portal
3. They don't make it to 3.
If they made another Portal, I'd probably buy and play that. I like some puzzle games. That's like a relaxing puzzle game.
Portal was amazing. I love that series.
Plus the robots are pretty funny.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm not doing a card game, even if it is Valve. We're not doing that.
That is not a road we tread.
Yep. So why is it that I can't select anything to play?
Are we over-leveled for it, so it won't let us?
No, it just popped up. So we're just sitting here farming pure drops of rain, if you guys haven't guessed already.
That is A-okay with me.
Yeah.
Now, let's move on to something else that's a little more lighthearted. Talk about some of the newer games that are being released over the past 2 weeks. Let's start with Hellblade.
Yes, these guys, wow, my brain just died. It is from the developers of Heavenly Sword, which was a PS3 launch title, or close to it, and it was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. I played it, Arcadius played it, we had a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. I think that was the game in which I put on Base Hunter in the background, and it synced up perfectly to whatever we were doing.
Yeah.
And we became Base Hunter fans then.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it was so much fun. But Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, is about a Viking on a psychological adventure through what seems to be her own mind. Or something like that.
Sounds like someone's gonna be running some circles.
It's heavily story based. What is it? It's like $30. It's not bad.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like I read that it has about maybe 6 or 7 hours of gameplay, so it's not a grossly long campaign.
Yeah.
But apparently incredibly beautiful and just a really good, solid game.
Yeah. I hear that this is a game where having a good set of headphones to use really pays off because the audio is top notch, and I love audio. So I might be getting this game just for that.
Landing site spotted. Nice find.
Or if you got some swanky home theater system speakers, you could use those too.
Could.
Now, I don't got swanky systems, but I got a pretty decent system, so...
Yeah.
If I turn up the volume, I could hear it. Hear all the little crickets and whatnot.
I was always interested in what the Heavenly Sword guys were up to since Heavenly Sword. They've been rather quiet. I mean, they've released other games here and there, but I haven't picked them up. And this seems to be a really cool return to the spotlight. And I want them to do well. But another game that came out today that kind of really has never left the spotlight, if you are into that kind of game, is Agents of Mayhem. And I know Danielle was happy about Agents of Mayhem because it's from the same dudes that made Saints Row. And it seems to be Saints Row turned up to 11. If that makes any sense. Saints Row has been turned up to 11 since Saints Row 2.
It's like, we should just call this game for what it is. Mayhem, that's it.
Mayhem.
I read that it takes place in one of the universe's alternate realities.
Mm-hmm.
So that just sets the tone right there.
Ooh, Danielle just bought the game.
Oh, how is it? Have you started?
Yeah, tell us
about that. I'm thinking that one of our next games.
Yeah. From what I understand, there are 16 playable characters, and you choose 3 of them to play with and go on missions and stuff. And it's all kind of crazy stuff. I believe there's the obligatory ninja and there's the obligatory soldier with big gun. But there are also people like...
You took my chest vest.
There are also people like a roller skating, roller derby queen that has a Vulcan gun and cusses a bunch.
Mayhem.
Mayhem. It's one of those things that I'd really like to mess around with, really.
You can if you want to. Oh, it's still downloading. You're gonna have to let us know how it is.
Yeah, we'd love some insider information from one of our wonderful fans. What else has come out recently? I know Vass is looking forward to Uncharted and Yonder. I believe.
Uncharted comes out next week.
Yep.
Isn't it like in a month or so, the next DLC for Horizon Zero Dawn comes out?
Yeah, I think that comes out either late October or November.
I'll be looking forward to that.
The Frozen Wilds. I haven't purchased it yet, but I will definitely be playing it and streaming it and all of that goodness. That was such a good game. I'm happy that they had DLC.
To date, one of my top games.
Yeah,
I would rate.
Agreed.
So, Fast, I think you should tell us a little bit about Yonder, because I know nothing about it, and it would be good to cover it.
Yonder is kind of like a spiritual successor or love child to Legend of Zelda, Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley, and a bunch of other type a bunch of other type of kind of gentle meander exploration type games. And it's by a small studio. I can't remember the name of it right off the top of my head, and you just give me 1 second, I'll tell you. But I believe it's a 4-person studio who created this game.
Oh wow, 4 people.
And it has some just beautiful skyboxes and vistas, and the way that they handle light is just absolutely gorgeous. The one thing I'm kind of hesitant about with the game is that there is no combat. A lot of your progression and leveling comes through your farming and trading, and even crafting compositions. So, I'm interested. Like, I really want to try it because it seems like it's a really interesting game and a labor of love kind of thing. And you know me, I love just good looking artistic game.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, well, you just want to farm? I've been in the fields before at my grandparents' house. I didn't like it. So, just to do it all the time, I don't know. So that's the only reason I'm really hesitant about it right now. But I think in the end, I'm going to end up getting it, playing it, probably loving it.
All right.
And it's only $20.
Yeah. Danielle agrees. Yonder is such a cute game. I might want to look at it because it's been a really difficult, arduous task for me not to pick up Stardew Valley. And it is coming to console. It's coming to PS4. And I'm still, oh man, it's like, oh.
It's coming for you. It's for you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll probably keep up with some of these other games. We were making a list actually yesterday, and I know that I'm going to end up getting the Telltale Batman game, The Evil Within, and there's a couple of other things like the new Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
We talked about getting. So there's things in the works. You're gonna see some new games on the channel soon.
Still waiting for game numero uno next year. Anthem.
Anthem.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh
All right.
my goodness.
All right, dude. How expensive was your ticket to the hype train?
It was
Like,
first class,
'cause-
like full full 4-course meal. It was.
Yeah. You're like head over heels
I
for
was
this game,
sold.
dude.
Dude, I saw their trailer and was like, done, will buy. Insert meme. Hurry up and take my money. Or shut up and take my money. Oh man.
I would love to be there with you. I really would.
I understand
But
your hesitation, but I'm going to just stay on the train.
I'll be playing
The
it. I
Kool-Aid
probably
tastes
will.
just fine.
I can't drink the Kool-Aid right now. My kidneys cannot take it. Oh.
Alright, so let's move on to just real quick, briefly touch on the game that we are playing right now, Fortnite,
Yeah.
because it is seeing a little bit of love for the developers lately.
Hey, Vass,
after-
before you continue, will you adjust your mic a little bit? You're kind of dropping out.
A little hollow.
Yeah.
Oh, is this better?
Yes, it is.
Much.
Thank you.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. And Danielle, I agree. Stardew Valley is pretty awesome. I never played it, but one of my roommates is an avid PC gamer, and so I was in there with him metaphorically as he played the game and did the like 736 level dungeon or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Ugh.
The mine that goes on forever.
Mm-hmm.
Seems a little excessive.
You bought your first class ticket to Anthem, all right? You can't talk about excessive at this point in time.
This is true. But the money's been spent. No reason to complain now.
Oh. Did we cut somebody off in our dipshittery?
Yeah, just we're just gonna really quickly talk about Fortnite changes. Apparently, we showed the Epic Games and the Fortnite developers a lot of love in purchasing the game. Probably exceeded their expectations, and they've been throwing back a little bit of love in the form of patches. And so the game has been patched a couple times with some bug fixes over the past 2 weeks. We've seen 2 patches now.
Yeah. Since the update, I think, including the update 1.4, we've had 3 patches in 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, because we had 1.4 update, which came out, a week and a half or 2 weeks after the game started. And then we had a couple of supplementary patches that stabilized the game a little bit and had some quality of play things adjusted.
So the latest update, which went out yesterday, I believe it was, really hammered in on some more of those stability issues that they mentioned in a recent developer video that was released by the crew. They said that they were really focusing hard on stability issues, making sure that, they can reduce the crashes and the glitches and the bugs that are hurting gameplay. In all honesty, the game does feel much cleaner, much more stable, but I personally had only experienced like maybe 2 or 3 like crashes or timeouts.
Well, I
during
crashed all the time.
Well, you crash
Like,
all the
all the
time
time.
anyway, man.
I know, all the time. If there's a crash bug, I'm gonna find it.
Honestly,
So obviously it's working for some people.
yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think this game is to a state of release now. I think it's stable enough. I think it's fun enough that it can sustain a good community in full release. And that's hard to say considering that we just destroyed No Man's Sky in this podcast. We talked
there's
about...
there's so many little differences about that and how that was handled. So I don't know if I could quite equate that, but I do understand the idea behind saying it that way.
Yeah. God, there's bricks everywhere.
Well, I just in general, because I don't want to rag too hard on the game right now, but in general. Oh, real quick, let me just say that Danielle says her sister, who doesn't even really like games, is addicted to Stardew Valley. It is an addicting game. That's what I hear. It is an addicting game.
Yep.
But I think one of the things that really helps Fortnite and is a detriment to Hello Games game No Man's Sky is that they did not have a multiplayer at launch.
Yeah. We didn't even talk about the multiplayer that they added to No Man's Sky.
Well,
did they? I don't even know if I played it.
Quotation marks around that.
All right. Do we want to go back? Do we want to loop back and talk about the multiplayer?
You'd have to talk about it. I didn't even know they added it.
All right. Well, they added multiplayer in the latest update, and essentially what they have is a representation of somebody else in your world, which is this little light ball, this orb, and you have proximity voice chat with them.
Oh, jeez.
They can't interact with your world. You can't interact with their world. You can't give them any items. You can't fly around with them. You can't like trade with them or anything like that. Essentially, they made
lame.
They
made a camera peek. That's what they made. They made a camera peek. Oh, you can see what he built. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Except I can't talk to him, can't interact with him, can't play with him.
Yeah. They
Lame.
made
represented by a light.
They made Skype in No Man's Sky. No Man's Skype.
Well, you can't even call it that because you can't even see their face. So it's just emphasis on the no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, Danielle. Lame.
Yeah, lame. Well, depending on how the quality of your internet, you could be dropped probably as many times by Skype and No Man's Sky equally.
I concur with that.
But on
True statement.
On the positive side of that, it's a new functionality into the game. It can or could be built into something that is much more expansive. It's like the first step kind of thing. But in a game that is as lonely as some of these, as lonely as some of these games are, like you need some kind of element to it. And like even with something like Stardew Valley, like you can start a family, I believe you can get married, you know.
And an orb ain't gonna cut it.
Oh.
And an orb is not gonna cut it.
Can't doink an orb.
Yes.
Like you'll be more excited about finding a random person orb than anything else, and then that person orb won't know you're trying to talk to him, and they'll just go boop and log out, and you're like, oh no, the one time I found somebody, and
my
they're
friend
gone.
is gone. So Danielle, she asks, so now does No Man's Sky require PS Plus? I am not sure about that. We're gonna have to get back to you. We can find patch notes, we can find updates, and we will link all of our articles that we referenced and all of the patch notes in the description later when this podcast comes out, so you can peruse through it all yourself. And we'll find this for you.
Are we ready to destroy this balloon? Like, is this? Yeah. Are we ready to like? Continue?
I mean, we're walking around talking is what we're doing.
Yeah, pretty much. Just double checking. Double checking.
All right, and I think that lets us get to our last topic.
Shadow of War?
End with a bang. Yes. Let's return to Middle Earth, which costs a lot of money to travel to.
Oh gosh. Arcadius, you want to cover this one?
Nope.
All right.
Too rage-worthy.
Okay.
I am absolutely just. I don't even want to play the game because of the stupid thing that they added for a money grab.
Yeah.
It's disgusting when they go for such blatant money grabbing. I can't in good conscience support that. Like, it's one thing to like make a game that's good and you make money off of it because it's good, not because of, oh well, here, let's see how much we can nickel and dime our way into the money bag.
Yeah. So what
that's...
Arcadius was referencing is that WB Games has started microtransactions in Shadow of War. There will be a separate currency to be used in-game and for microtransactions. The things that you can get from microtransactions can also be earned through playing the game, but there's a slight problem with that in that one of the other features that they started is that you can set up a base and you can have other people raid your base and in turn raid other people's bases. Well, one of the things that you can do with these microtransactions is you can beef up your base and all of the defenders with stuff that you get out of the loot crates from the microtransactions. And if these defenders die in the game, they're gone for good. They aren't going to return to your game. You're going to have to find replacements, which means there's a possibility that all of the money that you spent on microtransactions could be gone if somebody
because
was
someone
good
spent
enough.
a little more than you, or spent enough time on the game to be a little bit better than you and just wipe the floor with your investment.
Yep.
Or vice versa, somebody invests and goes and wipes the floor with someone else.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Unless it's purely for
not
defense. I don't know if that's just for defense or just for attacking, but the whole idea of that even occurring is bothersome to me.
Yeah. So
It's not going to last. I was going to say that that function where you don't get those things back, it's not going to last.
Yeah.
You think they'll just instantly revert it after like the first week when people are like, yeah, this is stupid, stop this?
I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen because they've specifically said that that is a function of the game, defending and attacking other people's bases, is a function of the game that is optional that you can turn on and off.
Which means everyone will just basically option it off, but they won't get to play that aspect.
Yeah.
And everyone who does play that aspect will be using microtransactions.
Probably.
Like two people or a couple people could try it and be like, oh, this is cool. Then they get their whole army wiped out and they're like, okay, it's not cool anymore. And then they'll just not go into it again.
They had a very similar thing in Watch Dogs, as I believe. One of the things that you could do was invade somebody else's game and hack the player that was roaming around in their area, and people promptly turned that off because it was annoying as hell. And I imagine this is going to be very similar.
Hacked.
Yeah, like they pop up like every 15 minutes, a new person.
Okay, that's pretty annoying.
And how well did Watch Dogs do?
Watch Dogs, the first one, it did all right, but it was plagued with a whole bunch of things that they could have avoided. It was one of those things where the E3 presentation promised way more than the game actually could deliver with the hardware that was around.
Huh. They must have ate dinner with Hello Games.
And Destiny and Bungie.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Bungie, they went and met for lunch somewhere else another time.
They were networking.
Yeah.
No, I'm at a point where if you want to attract people who want to spend money on games to your game, that's fine. But if you are deliberately denying paying customers access to a functionality of your game, then I think you're going to hurt yourself more in the long run.
Yeah.
And you're going to see that affect your bottom line more than you will see people spending extra money on the game. All this,
I will
I'm sure
rocket
this
him in
game
the
is still
face.
gonna sell well, but it's not going to get as much as it could have.
Get him! Get him! Get him! You
I missed.
missed! You missed!
Oh my god! Hold still.
Right there?
Where'd he go?
We got him! We got him!
Oh.
Oh.
Well, again,
What were we saying before that taker rudely interrupted us?
Hank.
Yeah. He didn't explode.
We can fix that.
It's weird. But yeah, Danielle is right. Every single Ubisoft game has microtransactions.
It's pretty much a part of Ubisoft.
Yeah.
We pretty much get that now. But these other people, they got no excuse.
Yeah, WB Games, I was really happy with Shadow of Mordor. It was a really good, really solid game. And
now they gone and mucked it up.
I was very interested in Shadow of War. I thought it would be a really good sequel, and it was shaping up to be a really good sequel with all the stuff that I saw. But I'm having serious, serious thoughts about playing the game now.
I mean, eventually they'll learn that if you want to do microtransactions because they're just going to want to do it, it should just be
honestly a big portion of that wrecked the. On a really off topic, microtransactions had a big part of wrecking the last Halo that just released.
Yeah,
Halo
that's
5. Because that had a lot of oh crap. It had a lot of people turn. No, Hank almost got me.
Huh? That was weird.
The last Halo had all kinds of microtransactions, so there wasn't any point in playing the game in order to earn the stuff that you would normally earn. You could just outright randomly earn it through this weird like roulette system of gaining outfits or weapons and stuff, or you just buy it.
Yep.
So it's like, well, there's no point in playing this because the player pride in playing up to the top tier stuff was completely gone. So once you took away like a nice clean objective to work towards, it's like, well, there's no point in doing this because so-and-so just bought it.
Yeah. And on another side note, I know that they've been doing this with Call of Duty for a while, but now they're doing it with Destiny 2. You can buy experience boosts. You can get experience boosts for Destiny by buying Mountain Dew and Doritos.
Oh my god.
But wait a minute. I think if you remember, like, not experience boost, but if you... They had a cross-promotional tie-in with Doritos and Mountain Dew for the first game, or was it Red Bull?
I think it was Red Bull.
The only thing I can think of with Doritos and Mountain Dew would be Diva from Overwatch. Like, sorry, that thing just backfired on them because that's the only thing I can think of when I hear of Doritos and Mountain Dew.
Oh man.
Joke's on you.
Are we getting off on a tangent now? Or are we just bitching?
We're just kind of rambling.
We're winding down, which is a good place though because we're coming to an end to our stream.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Timed it just right.
I think that covers about anything, right? Do we have anything else to say?
No, there'll be new stuff later.
Okay. Gamescom is starting next week, I believe. So we're going to be covering Gamescom the week after so that we can get all of the information to you guys in one podcasty package. It should be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think
I'm
that
looking
makes
forward to it.
Yeah, that makes our next podcast in 2 weeks. So far it's been really fun. Thanks for joining us. If you liked what you heard, subscribe. We have a ton more podcasts. Leave a comment below with, I don't know, whatever the hell you want to talk about. Like our video. Send it all over the place. This is a new channel. we need subscribers pretty badly. The climb is a bit difficult after we gave our only giveaway away. It's
gonna take some time to get another.
Yeah, it's been a lot slower. So thanks you guys for joining us, and we are out of here.